In the beginning of the drama, we see the 32 Korean Film Awards. An announcer says the red carpet is about to begin, teasing a gorgeous dress showdown and calling it a night where actresses fight for pride. Everyone wants to know who will win. In the next scene, we see our female lead Yuji working out and checking her weight. She complains her weight rose by 500 grams and blames the manager for making her eat 5 pieces of gimbap the night before. The other says she did it so she wouldn't collapse from hunger. Even back then, the two pushed each other hard and competed over small things like food and weight. As idols, they get their photos taken. Someone asks how many fan shots each got that day. Ning got 300, Yuji got 400, but a staffer says that's not enough and it should be pushed to 600, underlining how numbers obsessed their world already was. In the salon, Yuji is being styled to look more attractive, asking for extra shading to look sexier. Afterward, one girl admires her own face, saying she's flawless from every angle. Another jokes she's jealous since standing next to her is like seeing Venus without a museum, then adds bittersweetly that the sad part is this beautiful girl can only see herself in a mirror, showing their close but insecure friendship. They're told to hurry or they'll be late. One says she'll go get the prize, hinting at an award ahead. A different, more serious storyline. A counselor, our male lead Chin, asks a boy a pointed question. Wouldn't it feel good to hurt back whoever hurt him? He says that if someone bullies you, you should hurt them back just as badly. The boy hesitates, saying that's not how he feels. The counselor presses, is he afraid of losing, or does he actually pity his bully? The boy admits he went through something terrible. The counselor reveals his own past. He once dropped out of high school and lived through his own days of hell, locked in his room. He tells the boy he needs to make the bully feel that same pain. On screen, an eye for an eye. The mother of the boy, uneasy about this method, asks if it's really okay to use with her son, but admits he's grown much brighter since starting. If it's working, she says, saving his life matters more than anything. Her son, Sun Moon, had become deeply withdrawn from bullying and had even thought of suicide. She asks how he could possibly find the will to live if she just tells him to forgive and forget. The counselor answers bluntly, revenge. For someone who feels hopeless enough to want to die, even imagined revenge can be what keeps them alive. The mother says she understands his concerns, but still wants to be an excellent counselor for people like her son, and hopes to help him become himself again soon. In the next scene, Chin receives a call from a TV show representative. While talking on the phone, he gets distracted by a roadside banner of Yuji and keeps looking at it instead of paying full attention to the call. The caller asks if he's from No Kids on the Block, and he confirms that he is. The caller says that appearing on such a popular show would boost his popularity, but Chin brushes it off, saying he's already fairly well known. The caller insists that word-of-mouth fame and TV appearances are very different. Noticing that he's distracted, the caller asks if he's listening, and Chin simply replies, "Yes, I'm listening." In the end, he politely declines the offer, saying he's grateful for the invitation, but it's difficult for him to accept it right now. Yuji sees, on screen, Han Ning versus Yuji, who will win the newcomer award. Yuji asks why she is chewing gum aggressively. Someone jokes her jaw might come off. She says it reduces facial swelling before the event. Celebrities need self-control. Someone remarks admiringly. Yuji notices her manager staring and asks what's wrong. He says he just got a call from the agency and makes her promise 3 things before he'll explain. Don't get angry. Don't shout, don't curse. She agrees. The news is about the appearance order at the ceremony, which is decided by their agency, U-Star. Her manager tells her to just accept it because the alternative is facing public criticism. He says it's better to receive a phone call about the order than be embarrassed in front of everyone, and she reluctantly agrees. Furious, Yuji accuses her manager of acting like a dog showing its belly. He explains that this is a prestigious film festival, not a music show, so he has no power to change the order. He warns that if she complains too much, she'll be labeled as difficult, which could damage her image. Yuji angrily asks if he can't hear the sound of her status dropping. She says that in this industry, appearance order matters, and walking out after Ning makes her look lower ranked, something she refuses to accept. She reminds him that she was once the center of their idol group, but he reminds her that they're actors now, not idol. In the car, Yuji shocks her manager by telling him to hit her. She's not joking. She wants to fake a traffic accident to escape the situation. On set, she's praised for a performance so raw it barely looks like acting. She modestly credits her senior. Ning then gets a message asking if the appearance order can be changed after all, followed by a news headline. Yuji was in a minor traffic accident and will stop by the hospital before the event. The staged accident worked. A news report announces Ning is now an active, nominated actor, building anticipation for the ceremony. Yuji arrives looking stunning. Reporters ask if she's really okay after the accident. Told to hold still for photos so people behind her can move, it becomes clear she and Ning will walk together. Commentary describes their long friendship since their girl group days. Yuji sarcastically asks if Ning bothered to come greet her. Ning coolly asks if they're really even that close. Yuji calls it just a performance. Ning says she's very good at performing. They pose together under the Korean Film Awards banner despite the tension. Both are nominated for Best New Actress, and in interviews both insist they'll support each other no matter who wins, a public performance of friendship neither privately feel. In the next scene, Chin visits his friend, feeling hungry and asking for something to eat. His friend tells him that no matter how busy he is, he should at least eat one proper meal a day. Chin jokes that he can't waste his expensive hourly consulting time on eating. While they're talking, Chen's friend tells everyone to be quiet because her favorite star, Yuji, has just been nominated. She excitedly reveals that she was once the president of Yuji's fan club. Chin teases her for joining the fan club of every beautiful woman, but she doesn't deny it. When he asks if Yuji and Jian are secretly rivals because of someone, she says they're not close at all and jokingly threatens him to stop making up stories. The broadcast returns to the nominees. Ning wonders aloud if the accident was faked. She notes Yuji's naturally suspicious personality hasn't changed, and Hyunjin admits it's because she's been burned before. Then the announcement, the new actress award goes to Han Ning for It Was My Fault. The room erupts. Yuji, devastated, asks why, through gritted teeth, insisting how hard she's tried, crushed that it wasn't enough. In a private moment, Yuji says that instead of screaming with joy, she wants to scream out jealous, hateful words, crying like a vengeful ghost. She'd been counting on this win to renew her contract on a high note. Now that plan is ruined. Her manager tells Mr. what he can't accept it. He clarifies that supporting her and being honest about the results are two different things, and refuses to flatter her. Rain begins, and the two end up sheltering together. She sarcastically tells him to run before her bad mood hits him. He jokes about her sharp tongue, but says he can't leave her alone right now, especially in the rain. They agree to make a run for it once it stops. Then Yuji comes out from her room and says she's hungry. Then she makes food. They share a modest meal, our own little celebration. Despite the loss, Yuji jokes eating this much will make her gain weight, but agrees to enjoy it anyway. She thanks him, though she can't finish it all, joking she's supposedly working out. Turning serious, she asks him to be completely honest. Is her acting really worse than Ning's? She can't accept losing to her, but she also can't keep crying about it. As a professional, she wants his real analysis, not comfort. He says it's not that she's worse. Winning is about 80% luck anyway, since acting is judged so subjectively. Unsatisfied, she insists she's the better actress, but he won't simply agree to please her. She warns that if he lies to her, she'll be genuinely angry. She needs the truth to grow. He finally says it plainly. Her acting isn't bad, but it often feels soulless, technically fine, emotionally empty, like a routine performance where she never truly connects with the character. Stunned, Yuji repeats the word solace. He explains it's as if she can't fully immerse herself in someone else's feeling. She admits that's honestly how it feels from the outside too, and jokes he's quite the critic. He says he's thought about the reason. He believes she simply doesn't have enough empathy for others. Defensive, she asks if he's really calling her selfish. He says she struggles to put herself in others' shoes, and that acting is fundamentally about expressing someone else's life and feelings as your own, something that might genuinely be hard for her. Child actor subplot. A little girl films a juice commercial and she forgets her line, then helps a rival who kept forgetting her lines. Her mother tells her, wouldn't Yuji shine more if the other kid failed? Yuji asks back why she herself was once helped the same way. Then the girl hands her a gift, which she thanks them for in advance, but the tone suddenly turns cold as someone else is told to disappear and never come back. Present day, Yuji is practicing dialogue. A lady tells her it's wrong to shout out of excitement rather than real feeling. If you truly want someone to stop hurting you, shouting alone isn't enough. You need to actually process the emotion. The listener admits this doesn't fully click and wonders if that's exactly why they aren't improving. They take a short break. In the next scene, we see Chin talking with his assistant about the Best New Artist award. His assistant suggests that they should send a flower bouquet to Ning to congratulate her on winning the award. Chin agrees, and then he sends Ning a message, congratulating her on her win. Then, Ning messages Chin and asks if he's available for a big celebration party. Just as she's texting him, Yuji arrives at the salon and says, "So, you come to this salon too?" Ning looks at her and replies that she had been crying. She denies it, blaming puffiness on a late night, joking she shouldn't eat after 6 if she wants to avoid gaining weight, but admits yesterday she wanted to be reckless. Asked if she's frustrated, she denies that too. Told her car has arrived, she heads down. Oh Mijin, greeting Yuji whom she hasn't seen in a while, asks if they're now managing Ning, sympathizing that it must be tough. During makeup, Yuji complains her face looks puffy and asks for heavier shading. The stylist mentions being surprised by the ceremony results in rank, looks, and popularity. Yuji is clearly ahead of Ning. Yuji says the judges apparently disagree. The stylist calls that too naive a view, hinting there's a hidden reason. The judges, specifically director Yoon and Ning herself, are somehow connected. Yuji admits she knows a little. The stylist insists she knows very well, then cuts the conversation short, telling everyone to get back to work. Someone asks about Yuji's outfit from a brand called Urbany, noting it doesn't sponsor just anyone, prompting a demand to secure an Urbany sponsorship for their own client instead, underscoring the constant status competition. Ning's assistant tells her a call comes in from director Moon Kyung-sik. He wants to cast Han Ning in a new role, but the production company says she lacks star quality. The company wants Yuji instead, but Moon says she lacks the acting skill. It sets up a clash between star power and real talent. Someone predicts that if Yuji takes the role and genuinely commits to improving, it could open a new stage in her career. Someone remarks they've gathered some useful gossip. His assistant tells him Chen does real psychological counseling, and he has a genuine gift for surfacing buried emotion. Rumors are already spreading in the industry that his sessions dramatically improve actors' performances. Someone wonders whether the notoriously guarded Yuji would ever agree to a session. Another suggests that even imagined revenge can soothe a hurting heart. A grateful former client thanks Chin for nearly eliminating her depression, anxiety, and suicidal thoughts. She's even landed a job cleaning a building. Since she's doing so well, they agree to cut her sessions to once a month. Before leaving, she nervously asks if it's really okay to act on the imagined revenge scenarios from their session. He clarifies it's meant purely as a therapeutic technique, not something to act out. She says she understands and leaves quickly. On a film set, Yuji delivers "I love you with all my heart" opposite a co-star. Directed by Kim Jin-moo. The director wants more real emotion and calls for another take, but the actor says he's not feeling well and asks for a break. A 10-minute pause is granted. Off-set, director Moon suggests Yuji try professional counseling. She immediately rejects it, insisting she's not a psychopath. Told not to be so defensive, counseling is normal these days even for someone young. She still refuses, saying it's not just talk-based therapy. It pulls out deeply suppressed feelings, and though she's heard other actors improved through it, she still doesn't like the idea. Pressed on why, he admits he doesn't want to expose her unconscious thoughts on top of everything already exposed about her private life. What if the counselor leaks something? He's reassured the counselor strictly follows confidentiality and has no history of breaches, but she remains distrustful. Someone reveals they themselves have already used this counselor, admitting it's exactly why their acting improved so much. Surprised, he asks if they'll keep her visits secret too. A call is placed to the counseling office. This is for actor Yuji, calling to make a reservation. Director Moon comes to Chin for it, confirming she's decided to try it after all. He asks pointedly whether her privacy will be fully protected and is reassured it's treated as an ordinary work matter. He agrees. On arrival, her manager offers to drive her home afterward for extra discretion. She jokes about being treated like such a VIP and is told the center's real strength is its strict confidentiality. She's relieved she'll get to go home early once it's done. As she says goodbye, in the next scene, Chin sees Yuji and gets lost in memories for a moment. Yuji then asks, "Can I come in?" Snapping out of his thought, Chin replies, "Yes, come in." Inside, she finally sees the counselor's credentials on display, diplomas, certificate. Chin tells her, half-jokingly, that he's genuinely talented, and people always say so. She admits she now understands why people seem a little wary of his confidence. He starts the session by having her draw a card at random. The instant she does, he tells her she has very strong defenses. Surprised, she asks why. He explains her earlier questionnaire answers were consistently vague, never fully committing either way, and the fact she picked her card instantly, without hesitation, shows she immediately sought control and safety. A classic defense mechanism to avoid inside, revealing her inner self during exposing moments. He shifts to her childhood. She questions why that matters. He explains that personality is shaped by early experiences, especially with parents, and asks if her relationship with hers was good. She answers vaguely. Not particularly good, not bad, just normal. He pushes back gently. Without honesty, they can't reach any meaningful conclusion. He raises something more specific, a note describing her strong fear of being alone on a rainy day, and asks if she might have symptoms resembling claustrophobia. She tries to deflect, joking about the weather outside. He explains that fear tied to such specific conditions usually points to deeper, unresolved trauma, and asks pointedly whether she experienced a major accident as a child. Before she can answer, he excuses himself and steps out. Suddenly, things turn frightening. Someone announces the day is over, followed by confusion about an electrical leak warning. Yuji, alone in the small room, finds the door won't open. She begs desperately for someone to open it, panic mounting, clearly tied directly to the claustrophobia and trauma just discussed. She calls out, "Mr. Yuji, can you hear me?" Her voice full of real terror. Told to stay away from the door for safety, she admits she's truly scared and keeps pleading. Finally, the door opens. He rushes to check on her. She gasps that she can't breathe. The counselor tells her to look into his eyes and follow his lead, guiding her through a breathing exercise in for 1, 2, out for 3, 4. Gradually, she calms from what was clearly a full panic attack. The episode's emotional gut punch, a flashback. A little girl is trapped somewhere frightening, crying. A man's voice gently tells her to be strong, promising he will save her, then breaks down apologizing, calling himself her uncle, hinting that something went terribly wrong that he failed to prevent, leaving a lasting scar of fear in young Yuji that still shapes her today. In the next scene, we are shown Yuji in hospital. Yuji's staff are very angry and immediately want to file a lawsuit against Chin, but Yuji surprises everyone by stopping them. Even though she usually doesn't trust anyone, she calmly says that it was just an accident and believes Chin is not a bad person. Her manager is shocked because he has never seen Yuji defend a stranger before. Yuji simply says that she doesn't want to make the situation more complicated, but this also hints that she already sees something different in Chin. This becomes the first sign that their relationship may change in the future. Then we see Mr. Moon and his assistant. They talk about how amazing Chen is as a therapist. They say he has a special talent for bringing out emotions that people don't even realize they are hiding. They are surprised that someone as cold and stubborn as Yuji actually has a warm and caring side deep inside. They even call him a miracle worker and start wondering if Yuji is okay after the accident. At the same time, we see Chen Huan sitting outside Yuji's hospital room, looking worried. He quietly says to himself, "I wonder if she's okay." Inside the room, Yuji suddenly hears the exact same words in her head. Confused, she thinks her assistant, who is sleeping beside her bed, is talking in his sleep. She immediately wakes him up and tells him to go home and get some proper rest. But her assistant refuses to leave. He tells Yuji that he is staying with her because it is raining outside and he doesn't want to leave her alone. After that, we see Chin return to his friend. He is helping him apply medicine. Seeing all the injuries, Jun-sik becomes worried and asks if he got into a fight. However, Chin avoids the question. He simply says it was nothing important and refuses to explain what really happened, even though the bruises clearly tell a different story. In the next scene, we see a woman cleaning a floor while a man is talking to someone on the phone. He says that someone has accidentally transferred $50,000 into his bank account. Then we get a flashback. We see that the same woman had gone to this man to ask for her money back, but instead of helping her, the man becomes furious and brutally beats her. This reveals that she is being treated very badly, even though she is only asking for the money that rightfully belongs to her. Meanwhile, Yuji's director asks her for next therapy class and starts preparing her for an important meeting with the famous director Woo. He tells her that this meeting could change her career, so she must make a good impression. He honestly reminds Yuji that she is almost 30 years old and can't rely on her beauty forever. If she wants a long career, she needs to prove herself as a talented actress instead of just being a popular celebrity. He repeatedly asks her to stay polite, be respectful, and control her temper no matter what director Wu says. However, Yuji doesn't seem worried at all. Instead, she calmly reminds her manager that she still hasn't renewed her contract with the agency. With just one sentence, she makes it clear that she still has the upper hand, leaving her manager with no choice but to keep persuading her. Meanwhile, news starts spreading that Yuji might become the next actress chosen by the famous director Woo. Because of these rumors, Everyone believes the meeting will be a big opportunity for her. However, as soon as Yuji arrives, she realizes it is actually a trap. Director Woo has secretly invited her rival actress Ning without informing either of them. At first, Director Woo politely asks Yuji about his famous movie and says he heard she is a big fan of it. When he asks what she liked about the film, Yuji answers that it is a story about true desperation. But Director Woo immediately disagrees. He says the movie is actually about a person's selfish desire to survive, even if they have to step on everyone else. He then insults Yuji, saying that someone who has lived an easy life could never understand real suffering. Finally, he bluntly tells her that he has no intention of casting her in his next film. Instead of staying quiet, Yuji confidently fights back. She tells him that his movie is not about desire at all, but about real and painful desperation. She also says that someone who was born into a rich and successful family could never truly understand that feeling. After saying exactly what she thinks, Yuji tells director Woo that she is no longer interested in working on his project either. Then she turns around and walks out without giving him a chance to respond. Outside, her manager panics and desperately begs her to go back and apologize before it is too late. But Yuji refuses. She says director Woo is famous for being rude, while she is famous for having a difficult personality, so neither of them has any reason to apologize to the other. After saying that, Yuji leaves the meeting without looking back. Meanwhile, her manager receives a phone call from the woman he refers to as Yuji's mother. As usual, she isn't calling to ask how Yuji is doing. Instead, she only wants an update about Yuji's contract renewal with the agency. Before the manager can finish the conversation, he is suddenly interrupted by an urgent situation that immediately grabs his attention. Meanwhile, somewhere else, the consequences of an earlier incident finally catch up with Chen. A news report reveals that his former counseling client, Lee Young-ji, is the woman who recently stabbed a man in Seoul. She attacked him to take revenge after he had scammed and cheated her. The report also claims that the police suspect Chen may have encouraged her to take revenge during the free counseling sessions he gave her. Not long after, Chin receives a call informing him that he has been asked to appear as a witness for questioning. Hearing this news leaves him visibly shocked and worried. In the next scene, we are shown Yuji, who is drinking in her home and remembering the words of manager Moon. Then she receives a call and is shocked with happiness because director Woo selected her for the main female lead. Meanwhile, Ning is also facing problems in her career. Her acting coach honestly tells her that he can teach acting technique, but he cannot teach the natural charm that attracts audiences. At the same time, one of her sponsors decides to stop supporting her. Before leaving, the sponsor asks if she is struggling to pay her mother's hospital bills. Embarrassed, Ning quickly replies, "Why are you asking that?" and avoids the conversation. The scene then cuts to director Woo's office, where Yuji and her manager are waiting. Yuji quietly tries to hide her excitement because she believes she has a good chance of being selected as the lead actress in director Woo's new project. Even though she acts calm, everyone can clearly see how hopeful she is. After that, we are shown the stylist of Yuji, Mi Jong, makes an unexpected announcement. She says she is quitting her job. Soon with this, we are shown a flashback in which Yuji helps Jong by paying the hospital bills of her mother. After remembering everything, she still uploads an emotional post online. She claims that after working for a famous actress for 3 years, she can no longer stay silent. Along with the post, she uploads a video that appears to show Yuji verbally abusing a staff member. The video spreads across the internet within hours, and people immediately begin criticizing Yuji. Many say they always believed her sweet public image was fake, while others call her rude and arrogant. On the other hand, director Woo signs the contract with Yuji. After that, his assistant comes and tells him all about the situation. Yuji is completely shocked. She repeatedly insists that the woman in the video is not her. She admits that she can sometimes be blunt, but she would never treat someone that cruelly. She desperately asks to meet Mi Jong and clear up the misunderstanding, but no one can contact her. Her team also warns her that trying to reach Mi Jong now would only make people think she is threatening her. As the scandal grows bigger, advertisers begin discussing canceling their contracts with Yuji. The production team of her drama even considers removing her character from the story altogether. Meanwhile, her staff rush to stop the rumors from spreading further and prepare legal action against the people sharing what they believe is false information. Even though everything around her is falling apart, Yuji forces herself to stay calm. She jokingly says that since she has already lost both her reputation and her popularity, the only thing left to protect is her beauty. But behind that joke, she is clearly terrified. At home, when her assistant comes, she sends all of her staff home because she doesn't want anyone to see how heartbroken and shaken she really is. After that, we see Chin at the police station because of Young Ji's case. The police tell him that he is only being questioned as a witness and that he is not expected to face any legal trouble. However, they also inform him that Young Ji has once again refused to meet him, just like she did the day before. Hearing this makes Chin feel even more guilty. He starts blaming himself, believing that his counseling may have indirectly influenced Young Ji's decision. As he sits there alone, strange thoughts suddenly begin filling his mind. He hears someone calling themselves a lowlife and a fraud, but the thoughts don't feel like his own. This leaves him frightened, and he starts wondering if he is losing his mind. A short while later, Chin comes face to face with Yuji again. At that moment, he finally realizes the truth. The emotions and thoughts he has been hearing actually belong to Yuji. Worried, he asks her if she has been crying. Yuji immediately denies it and insists that she is completely fine. But after a brief pause, she quietly admits that maybe he is right. Both of them are left confused and unsettled as they realize they can somehow sense each other's emotions without even speaking. After that, the story shifts back to Chen's house, where the mood becomes much lighter. Jun-sik starts teasing Chen about what happened the previous night. He reminds him that he was the one who carried him home after he got beaten up, even hurting his own back in the process. However, Chen still refuses to explain who attacked him. Meanwhile, Yuji faces another heartbreaking betrayal. This time, it comes from the CEO of her own agency. He hands her a new contract with much harsher terms. The new deal gives Yuji a much smaller share of the profits and also increases the penalty she would have to pay if she broke the contract. The CEO doesn't even try to hide his true feeling. He openly tells Yuji that he only cared about her when she was making money for the company. Now that her reputation has been damaged, he sees her as nothing more than a burden. Although his words deeply hurt her, Yuji refuses to give up. She confidently tells him that she has overcome even bigger challenges since the beginning of her career. Determined to prove everyone wrong, she promises that she will rise back to the top of the entertainment industry, no matter how difficult the journey is. In the next scene, Yuji receives a phone call from her mother. Then we are shown a flashback from Yuji's childhood. The flashback reveals that Yuji grew up in an orphanage. One day, she is told that if she gives up or quits, another child will lose the same opportunity that she was once given. Those words leave a deep impact on her and become the reason she always pushes herself to succeed, not only for herself, but also for the children who might be waiting for the same chance. After that, Yuji realizes how quickly the entertainment industry has turned against her. Her phone, which was once filled with non-stop calls, casting offers, and business opportunities, suddenly becomes completely silent. No one wants to work with her anymore because of the scandal. Meanwhile, her assistant, Do-hoon, who still genuinely cares about her, advises her to put aside her pride and apologize to her former CEO before it is too late. He sadly tells her that in this industry, loyal people are often the ones who suffer the most. Later, Do-hoon sends Yuji a text message because he cannot bring himself to tell her in person. In the message, he informs her that she has to move out of her apartment by the end of the week. Even so, he promises that he will always care about her no matter what happens. Instead of breaking down, Yuji immediately starts looking for a new place to live. She meets a property broker and confidently says that she doesn't want to rent a house, she wants to buy one. Without wasting any time, she transfers the full payment so she can move in as soon as possible. However, things quickly go wrong. When she arrives at the house, several other people also show up, each claiming that they have already rented or bought the same property. Yuji soon realizes that they have all been scammed. The real owner had gone overseas, and the broker took advantage of the situation by selling the same house to multiple people before disappearing with everyone's money. After being scammed, Yuji goes to the police station to report the fraud. However, instead of receiving sympathy, she becomes the center of attention. People around her recognize her and begin whispering about the recent bullying scandal. Some even make fun of her appearance and say that her bad personality must be just like the viral video showed. While filing the report, the detective asks Yuji if she has checked the property's ownership document. Confused, Yuji admits that she doesn't even know about those legal procedures. She honestly says that she thought buying a house house was as simple as paying the money and receiving the keys. This shows how disconnected she has become from normal life after spending so many years as a famous celebrity. Just then, Yuji notices a woman secretly taking pictures of her. Already under a lot of stress, she is about to lose her temper. Before the situation gets worse, Chin, who is also at the police station for another matter, steps in. Calmly, he warns the woman that secretly posting Yuji's photo online with insulting comments could be considered defamation and might lead to a lawsuit. Without revealing that he knows Yuji, he simply introduces himself as a counselor, and the man quietly backs off. At the same time, another detective speaks with Chen about Youngji's case. He explains that the situation is very serious. Since the victim is unwilling to forgive her and Youngji has no family or close friends to help resolve the case, her chances of receiving a lighter sentence are very low unless both sides agree to reconcile. In the next scene, we see Yuji and Chin left alone after everything that happened that day. Yuji tries to act strong and pretends that losing her money doesn't matter. She confidently says that she can always earn more because she is Yuji. Even though she speaks with confidence, it is clear that she is only hiding her true feeling. Chin quietly looks at her and gently asks if she is okay. Yuji immediately brushes off the question, but after a moment, he softly asks her again. This time, Yuji can no longer hide her emotions. She admits that hearing him ask if she is okay again and again is exactly what makes her want to cry. She says that his concern makes her realize that she is not as strong as she has been pretending to be. For the first time, Yuji lets down the walls around her and honestly shows how hurt and exhausted she really is. In the next scene, we see a quiet and emotional moment between Yuji and Chin, hinting that a deeper bond is slowly beginning to grow between them.